Clive. Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore! So will you! Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life...
I've made a choice of my own to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together, then.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer...
Clive!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves in...
Well done.
Welcome back. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out so keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. bloody stupid. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle pay. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravos needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did
What you had to do was your duty!
even if it meant we all starved.
Enough. You can finish beating each other up once Dravos is...
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. Short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before it... You,
We can't have...
right you are. Don't want any nasty surprise. Oh, and Blackthorn.
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming up.
What was it?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in here.
Good idea. Get you...
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gate. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can...
August's right. I've seen what the people here are tough and willing, but they...
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate, but it won't come to that. Take good care of Dravos till I get back.
Leave it to me. And... give those things what for.
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not. You're not getting past me. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You... As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall, but we got...
Good. So you do know?
In time, yeah. But we can think about...
Sid! Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt... But mostly, I felt grateful.
I'm afraid I've only delayed there's no getting rid of that ether, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more important, we'll fortify the gates and I'll see that they're guarded.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravosh needed you, so... Thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt... I always envied you. You leaving gave me the perfect and from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. You'd have been the death of this...
Finally. Something we can agree. I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Our work used to be the pride now. It's not about the craft. I've kept what... Yeah, come back. I'll even...
That's a kind. There's people... But that doesn't... Listen.
I'd like...
Just be...
I never...
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd...
Sid.
And this is?
A token of a... But I'm of a mind to make you a far grand... Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel. And I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing, and they're not just for show.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravosh in the... I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned between the two of us. I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced.
You know, Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the Hideaway, would you?
As long as he can keep us.
Right. Zoltan.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to... Have you learned anything of note since...
Little and less.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's...
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back...
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the... as if protecting the secret.
Secrets we'd see.
Should our methods be... Mayhap it would please you to observe some of our...
Would that be possible?
Of course. As perchance you are familiar with Kretov. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect... If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored.
All right.
They will be most. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village.
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another Lost Wing. Good girl. Be safe.
Oh no. You'll pay for this. May still be survivors. Ogle, kill! Over here! Over here! Over here! Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes, thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their... Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering ultimate, a duty of the highest import.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all undying. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his...
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Here, take a look at my wares. Anything else? Of course. A fine choice. Anything else? A fine choice. Of course. Anything else? Of course. A fine choice.
Ah. Here.
My thanks. I shall study them and inform you.
Cyril. Your losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of... Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty. And should we die in
even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose.
Cyril, I know, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how, please.
I thank you, if you will permit me to respond. Our faith in his grace, and we of the Undying, will do what we believe is right as first shield to the Phoenix. I am sure...
I do.
Then we are of the same mind.
Clive!
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone...
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain sick and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped...
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front, and they have formed what one could... and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, won't we?
Of course we will. If we can... the longer we avoid facing... Our best hope is by finding those ne'er-do-wells who perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us...
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my... Victor will fill... I have him stationed by the desert gate.
I'll go and speak.
What's the difference between a lord and...
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Vic.
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnes by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness, and having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it puts a sentiment must...
You're not the only...
What is it?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bat, and he said that you might be...
Then you've come at just the right time. There are more camps in the vicinity than... But we must strike together, and we must strike...
All right.
There's one upriver.
Leave it with me.
If those ne'er-do-wells want to band together, there'll be no match for us.
Fly, Ambrosia.
All right. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off! Get over here! It's over! All yours, Torvald!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the banners.
No, but...
No. Something's happened.
What is it?
The whole town's in. They're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal...
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose... well, it was...
We're sorry, Lubor, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. All that matters to me is that you...
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to... We need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who... They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but...
And that is...
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside?
He knew all along that he was playing us for fools.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but... could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants. The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this at least he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be...
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied...
So what do you propose? Will you drop...
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie...
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers? I assume the situation...
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime. I think it...
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some sense into them.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent...
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. To yourself be true. That rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed, and so must I be. I must do what I know to be right. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the... I'll need to make a suitably dramatic
Don't go, Lubor. You'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to...
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Luke?
Of those available to me, I believe... Ah, but where are my manners? Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do...
I'll bear it in mind.
Let's go. Two down, one to go. Let's go. Faster! Damn it. The whole village is turned. No need to ride from here. Skull. No mistakes. Nice try. That's all of them. Oh, what? Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
I've got greens of all shapes, sizes, colours.
Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for it, as have those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop. I better that than some and chocolate.
I'll take it.
Anyway, I'll go.
Nearly done.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure, Dor.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings
you? I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking, she's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So, was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sambrec. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous, Sid, but I think I can stop her.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Good. They haven't broken. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try.
All right!
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Cid the Outlaw.
Cid!
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, I always wondered casting your lot with this criminal of...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Cid. I should have... This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of... She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the... But you proved yourself a master of both. How about it, my little dagger? Care...
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a right... Perhaps that's the reason I loved you.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be, and she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right.
I am. And thank you.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put coal.
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled across the border.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter.
I'd been hoping as much. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sunbreak. She won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I hope so. You had quite the past yourself before you came here. Well, anyway, thanks again, Cid.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
I heard the Guardian saying we're supposed to go.
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery from...
These are Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old, but they'd long since gone to seed.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and so that they'll be able to fend for them.
That's not about... These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely.
What if...
You mean the...
So, they're they...
My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking...
Thanks to you.
Me?
Lord Rossfield, my lady.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves upon engaging with...
You're going to lure them?
I am. By coordinate with luck and...
The sound, I'd set please.
Ha!
Sir, wait!
Then you know what... We work together. Each sheep for us...
Where is it?
We've no time to argue, my lord.
And I will do as you are.
Suppose we'd better do our bit.
Right, you.
calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. This one. Bravo! Get him! Now, Corvo! Go, Corvo! Get him! Attack! Corvo, kill! Get him! Go, Tor! Over here! All yours, Torgal! Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's right.
Or the better half of... So wait.
Hard to say.
No, I'll go join...
If made...
Come to tell me an Akashic curl's heading towards the rest?
Come on. There it is. With me, Torgal. There's a good boy. All yours, Torgal. Torgal, kill!
All yours, Torgal! Torgal, still!
Nice try.
Over here! Get him!
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield, the Curl.
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. We were able to eradicate the rest. I have guardians posted around the village. I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved East. Thank you, my friends.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together.
We never had nothing to call our own before. But now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people, but there's no doubt in my mind. We're free men now. We have to fight to protect what's ours.
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or anything...
They'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to...
This village isn't gonna rebuild.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he were still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an East Poolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But I'll have to pull my weight too. Speaking of which, I ought to...
Can we continue to count on you?
Of course. And I'd be counting us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them.
All right.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
Sir Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went...
I just did what I...
And it's only right that you take it.
Thank you, Martha.
So, East Pool's fine, and a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of them, though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye.
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day. That whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed, but the loftier one's ambitions. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like.
Suppose you're right. And if we don't manage, good thing we've got a few half-decent... It's almost enough to give you... Anyway, I better get back to work. The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal.
That sounds like...
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of papio nuts and all.
We were just about to make a start on that. It's funny, but none of this would... You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues.
A team effort, led by the
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished. Right.
To the bellow.
Well, bugger me.
Thank you.
So, does this make you...
This, your team, but we're off it.
A list of material.
Zoltan and I got talking on the...
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok.
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? before you...
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past.
Then...
I never fought me, and if it hadn't been for you... Well, thanks for you, dear. Should last you a good while. Anything else?
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them.
How was she? The Enterprise. Ah, sis.
Good.
Oh. May I present to you the Telemon Furnace? Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make... And I reckon some strap. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all. Can't think of any right now, but maybe one. Oh.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.